Hi, everyone. My name is Frances Kweller. I'm so excited that we are having a webinar today. Today is a wonderful evening because we are going to learn about how to navigate the high school application process to a set of schools. These are the consortium schools. These are screen schools. We're going to learn the process, and we're also going to implement some strategies. You don't have to take the advice, but it's good. So hopefully you'll get quite a lot of this information. We're really happy to see an excellent turnout and a lot of families. We are going to begin. So I'll monitor the admits room to make sure that everyone's coming in properly, but I think we gave more than enough time. So everyone had a good 5 minutes to get in, and now we're going to begin. Sasha, are you able to, I'm going to put you in spotlight so that you can go and just tell everyone where you went to high school, where you went to college, a little bit of your background, and then we're going to jump right in. I also want to remind all of both Sasha and I, children of immigrants, we had to learn this journey, and it was a really, really hard learning curve on how higher education works. So we both want to take a moment to remind you that we all started in a very difficult place, and we learned and learned and learned. So knowledge is power. That's what this webinar is all about today. And thank you everyone for being here. And we're so happy that you're all looking for higher education opportunities for your children. And thank you to all the students who are here. Congratulations to all the students who sat for the SHSAT. We promise you that we're going to make this webinar really clear, really easy, and really simple to understand so that you have as little stress as possible with this application process. All right, Sasha, without further ado, I'm going to switch you to Spotlight so that you could tell everyone about yourself, and I'm switching you right now. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, go ahead.
So, my name is Sasha Balkaran, and I'm from Queens, New York. I grew up in an Indo-Caribbean family, right in Richmond Hill, and then we moved out to Glen Oaks. So I've been in Queens my whole life. And for high school, I went to Townsend Harris. I really loved that opportunity. And again, like when I was at Townsend Harris, I also was with students who had immigrant backgrounds and also like worked really hard. So I felt like I learned a lot about myself within Townsend Harris. And when I when I was in Townsend Harris, I was on the track team, wrote for the school newspaper. So those were a lot of formative experiences. After graduating from Townsend Harris, I went to the Macaulay Honors College at Hunter College, which was in the Upper East Side in New York City. Um, I really enjoyed going to Macaulay, and when I was there, I really had the opportunity to explore all the interests I had. So I graduated with a degree in biochemistry and public policy and minored in Spanish and music. Um, so after finishing up college, I applied to Fulbright, also with the thanks of Queller's recommendation. And I'm in Spain right now, where I'm working in the university. So I'm teaching lectures, working on a side project relating to oral histories, and also opening up a writing center. So that's just a little bit about me. I just wanted to say that like I'm really committed to like oral history storytelling and just really putting value in stories and trying to like also like at the young age that you all are at, right, make you realize that yes, you maybe share like certain stories and maybe certain stories overlap, but at the same time yours is very unique, and like at such a young age to recognize that, I think that's like really wonderful. So without further ado, I'm just gonna start going through some of this
Yeah, I
information.
think that this,
Mhm.
and just to let all of you know, we're going to go through, we sent a rather lengthy email. We're going to go through this email and talk out as much as possible so that it's super smooth. So let's get started. So Sasha, can you just begin? The 4 screen schools. So what are the 4 schools that we have right here?
Yeah. So the 4 screen schools now are Bard High School Early College in Manhattan, Bard High School Early College in Queens, Townsend Harris High School where I went, and the Baccalaureate School for Global Education. As you know, like for Bard High School, those are just like 2 different locations for the same school, but they do provide you with an associate's degree upon graduating, which is amazing. And Townsend Harris, like also, is just like going to provide you with like AP credits and the opportunity to take college classes at Queens College. And like baccalaureate, I think you can also take IB courses. So these four schools, yeah, four really do prepare you for like college and give you an understanding of what it is like to be in a college atmosphere.
So I just want to remind everyone, and I will be, interrupting. We're going to be bouncing back and forth. So Bard High School Early College, remember, up to 60 college credits. There are 2 Bard High Schools. So that's actually where you get your 4, which sounds confusing because you think it's 3. It's actually 4. These are separate school applications. So there's a Bard High School Early College in Manhattan. There's a Bard High School Early College in Queens and Long Island City, super close to trains and subways. The one in Queens is great. And hello, closer to Kweller Prep. Anyway, there's also Townsend Harris High School, which is located out of the Queens College campus. So I want to share that with you. And then there is the Baccalaureate School for Global Education in Long Island City, very close in proximity to Bard High School Early College in Queens. The difference between Bard High School Early College, number one, Baccalaureate will have an IB diploma. It's an international baccalaureate diploma, and there's a series of HL higher level courses, and it's a different type of degree. Bard High School Early College, you'll get an associate's degree after 2 years, up to 60 transferable college credits. The laureate will give you an IB diploma. So just keep that in mind. And we will obviously drill that in. Like, you're going to be an expert by the time the webinar is over. So don't worry, but we just want to keep stressing that. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and also just one thing to add, the locations for all these schools are really optimal. So if you didn't want to commute as much, to go to a really great school, in Queens, like right at its train stop in Manhattan, like these are really 4 great options.
Yes, and Baccalaureate School for Global Education offers an IB diploma, International Baccalaureate. And that IB diploma is known as one of the highest diplomas in the world. It is internationally recognized as a high-level diploma. So it's comparable to an A advanced placement, but an IB is international. So it's actually like even cooler. So just remember that, okay? Really important that you know the differences. I'm going to make everyone who's applying, listen to me, you need to memorize the differences. You need to know it cold. What are the differences among these schools? All right, let's keep scrolling down. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So over here, it just says that these 4 schools require 2 essays of up to 500 words each. So in total, it's 1,000 words. There are 2 parts for these essays. So the first part refers to humanities writing essay. So they provide you with 2 prompts. You get to choose one of those prompts and answer it. Now, those prompts will refer to the danger of a single story, which is a TED Talk and also a transcript that's provided. And it's written by this woman named Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. That's how
and we want to be really, really clear. You need to do, if you could just highlight, you need to select one question here, and that's all you're doing. So don't do both. You don't get any kind of extra credit. Don't do more than one, okay? No more than one. All right. And I just want to let you know, everyone take a moment, okay? Take a moment, and I just want to quickly address the question. Just mistakes are excellent schools. Don't worry about ranking, US News. They change their criteria every year. Like Columbia University is like 189 lately. So just relax. These are extremely good reputations. Don't worry about some outside ranking. Every place ranks differently, and very often they're paid. So let's take a step back and just focus on some excellent school options that are available to you. And I also want to remind you before we really start, no matter where you go to high school, you will be a star as long as you are the big fish. Work hard in any high school you go to. You make the school does not make you. All right, so with that being said, you have to select one response. Sasha, if you could just highlight it, one question to respond to. Don't do more than one. Got it? On the humanities question. And it's 250 to 500 words. That's how many words you're writing. Who can type it in the chat? Are you writing 250 or 499? 499. Okay, so here's the information for the author, and we put quite a lot of information here so that we know. And Sasha, if you could just review this with us, please.
Yeah, so the author of this TED Talk, she's really famous and she's known for being a great storyteller. So she covers different themes like relating to politics, culture, race, and gender, focusing a lot on like her birth country, Nigeria. And there are other examples of her books that you can read. And she's like has been like very well recognized by various publications. So the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Tribune, like whatever you could think of, really. So I think something that was really interesting about her talk was that the way that she first like relayed her like message, right? That was very powerful. And they decided to share with you a TED Talk, and they asked for you to provide a video as well. So I think that also just seeing like how she delivered her message across, like her personal story, and allow that to like shape the narrative that she wanted to relay is really important. So that's just something to keep in mind.
So before we scroll down further, let's go up again. I just want to remind everyone, because I want to drill this in. If you could just go up, 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 up. Everyone pay attention, okay? This is the deal. Ready? Part 1, you need to select one question. Do not do both. And everyone pay attention, up to 500 words. So don't do, I'm giving you free advice. Do not write 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, none of that. As close as you can, free advice to 499, right, Sasha? Same thing for the college application, 650 words for the main personal statement. 649 is just about right, okay? So you need to apply, and you need to do the part 1 humanities writing up to 500 words, okay? Please keep in mind, that's just about right. And obviously don't go over 500. So Sasha, if you just highlight where it says the 500 words, that's very important, okay? So essay 1, 500, got it? Everyone's with me? Yes. All right, let's keep going.
It's really good that Frances is like highlighting that, because if you do go over 500 words, or if you answer 2 responses or 2 of the prompts, like they will not look at your essay because you didn't follow their instructions.
So this is just some of the essay. I was scared to copy the whole thing, so I did not. I'm like, no, we shall not do that today. So there, you can read more. Let's stop, pause. Okay, stop scrolling. Okay, ready? Everyone pay attention. This is the humanities essay, ready? So Sasha, can you help me read 1 and then or 2? So everyone pay attention. You need to pick 1 from these 2, okay? Is everyone with me? Ready? Let's go.
Okay, so for the first prompt, it's asking you, does anything in this story remind you of an experience or interaction you've had in your life? And in the same prompt, it's saying, how does your experience compare with the experience that is shared in the story? And this is supposed to be up to 500 words. And then here's the second prompt. So how does the author use storytelling to push back against the danger of a single story? And in the same prompt, it says, please use an example from the text to support your point. And specifically at the bottom, it says, students are asked to write about 1 or 2, but not both.
So I'm going to give some feedback, and then Sasha, of course, she's really the expert. I'm just like that squeaky loud voice in the background. Okay, and then I use the bright colors. That's my role. I have a dog. That's my job, okay? Like, enough. I'm giving you just some easy tips. What do you think is the real goal of these essay questions? The real goal is to get to know you, the student. That's the objective. So now, question 1, I do want to pick a favorite. I really like 1 over 2. I like 1 because does anything in the story remind you of an experience or interaction you had in your life? You can actually talk about your generational life, your cultural life, and Sasha's going to elaborate on this, but this is a great way for you.
I can't hear you, Frances. You're still not there.
Sorry, guys. I am back. Anyway, so as I was saying, so basically this is really important. Okay, you hear me, right, Sasha?
Yeah.
I really like number 1 more than 2. because one is hyper personal. Sasha, if you could highlight it, does anything in this story remind you of an experience in your life? So it's very like me. And this is your opportunity to talk about yourself. How does your experience, when you do this, I highly recommend you do this with your parents, with your family members. You want to kind of talk about like a multi-generational collective experience. So much. So I'm a child of immigrants, as is Sasha. So much of my parents' lives I learned through their literally like talk, like conversations during dinner time or during holidays or during an, some kind of like, occasion where we had an opportunity. My parents presented me with an oral history of their lives. And I'm a grandchild of Holocaust survivors. That was something that I got to like, it was communicated to me. It was never actually like in a book. It was never written or published. So I had so much of an oral history conveyed to me, and that really shaped me. It shaped me, and it showed me that my parents had grit and perseverance, and they were willing to leave another country to come to America to live the American dream. And this was something that really stayed with me throughout my childhood. I even remember, it's so funny, I even remember my mother saying, well, Frances, you can be president. Mommy can never be president because I wasn't born here, but you can be president. And I have to say, like, these oral histories were so impactful in shaping, truthfully, I went to college, I went to NYU, I went to law school, I graduated, I passed the bar, I opened the business. It was always in my mind that my parents had this immigrant journey that was so hard. So that is exactly what I would be writing about if I wrote about one. I would write, when it says your life, it's like a collective life. So it's really, how have you are the product, right? You are the product of several generations, right? Today. So that's where you are. And that is exactly what I would convey in this particular part one. So once again, the question, and Sasha, if you could highlight it again, this is like my fave. Like if I could put a heart on it, I would do it. Does anything in the story remind you of an experience or interaction you've had in your life? And as I shared, this is what I would do. How does your experience compare with the experience in the story? And then you would parallel the story, which we will go to the share screen later. But again, we have the gist of the story. So that's important as well. But the theme is the dangers of a single story, and Sasha will elaborate. I just want to tell you, this one is more my fave, and that's the one I would go for. So keep that in mind, that this is a great opportunity. I have also seen this type of essay before. Where have I seen this before? At Kweller Prep. Who can guess where, at what level I have seen this essay before? On the college level. So in the common application to college, there's essay prompt 1 is talk about your background, your identity. And this is clearly a background identity type of essay. So this is a good question 1. All right. And then I'm going to quickly touch on question 2. How does the author use storytelling to push back against the danger of a single story? So this is not the one I would choose, but I'll tell you why I wouldn't choose it. You're welcome to do it, but it's not the one I would choose, because in this particular response, you're going to have to write a lot about the author. You're going to write very little about yourself, because the next part says, please use an example from the text to support your point. So this is more of like a straight third person essay. You're going to be writing a lot about the author, but the author is not the one applying to the high school. So it's not really the one that I feel you would shine. And again, the college applications have the same thing, where you can write about grandma or write about yourself. And I always tell the kids, write about yourself. So Sasha, if you're able to elaborate on what you feel, but again, I push students, opting for one, whoever decided, to work on this, that was the advice we provided. But if you're able to just, Sasha, give maybe more objective guidance, if you could do that, since mine was so subjective just now.
No, I mean, that was really good, because I do agree. Just because for the second prompt, it's a really good question. And if you were to answer it, you would have to really go in depth and be very creative in the way that you discuss like the author's story and use examples. But it would have to be very well written. And also you have to keep in mind that other students are going to be pulling from the same exact transcript. So maybe things will be repeated. Maybe you'd sound like, very repetitive, like after the admissions has read a few essays. Whereas like with number 1, it's very personable. And just imagine that they have so many transcripts, they have like, yeah, they have like the same grades, but what will differentiate you from another student? It's your story. And like Francis said, your story is, just not like your current state. It's a product of generations. It's a product of your family struggles. It's a product of, like how they grappled with like the American education system, or like the adjustments they made and the things and the different lessons that they imparted on you. So I think that by choosing number one, it shows a lot of reflection. And, in reflecting, you're also showing that you're being creative, and that when you are exposed to the material that Townsend Harris or any of these other schools like present to you, you would be able to think about them critically and also care about the communities that you came from. So that's what I think.
So if you, but to be fair, so a couple of students, so if you choose to, how does the author use storytelling to push back against the dangers of a single story? There are quite a few literary terms you need to incorporate, because now what you're doing really is writing a very sophisticated essay, and you're going to point out to very specific literature and literary terms that you can identify. So just remember, your examples need to have line references. And Sasha, if you could just quickly, because I don't want to like dismiss the second one. I just want to say, how would you recommend a structured response to question 2?
Yeah, so I would suggest that you look into what storytelling imparts on people. So just delve a little more into the speaker's history. Maybe like read some of like the brief like short stories that she's written, and just really think about storytelling, and also go to sources that talk about it. Just go to sources that talk about, the dangers of a single story, because there are those out there, and maybe quote them and like reference them within this essay to show that, you're able to like analyze like a piece of a document, right? You're able to analyze a document using various resources, kind of like, the document-based essays that they make you write for standardized exams.
That's what I was going to say. This reminds me more of like a Regents type of question, like a DBQ, which is a document-based question. How does the author use storytelling to push back against the dangers of a single story? You need to go back and make very specific line and contextual references. And you need to support the examples from the text. So you need to support your points. You need to say it, prove it, say it, prove it, say it, prove it, which is really what a DBQ is. So just know these are different questions. You can choose which one. As I said, I would prefer the first, just because I obviously they're accepting you into the school. They want to know as much as they can about you. I happen to like that one, but either way, they're both equal. It's not like they're going to favor one. There's no right or wrong. So now you're done with this piece. It's up to 500 words. You can go into Google Doc. You can do word count. You can review this, which is very good. Okay. What's the next one after this? Let's scroll down. Okay. Just remember, do not write both. You're only doing one. Okay. Then there's a second essay. Okay. Sasha, if you could please, without further ado, read the STEM writing.
Okay, so for part 2 STEM writing, it asks you to please select one question, so only one question, to respond to from the following choices. So again, 500 words max. The first one is, you're stranded on an island and you may take one modern invention with you. So no cell phones are allowed. Explain why you chose the item and describe some of the issues you may encounter trying to keep the item functional while it's stranded. So that's the first prompt. And then the second prompt is, suppose you wake up one morning and suddenly know everything there is to know about math and science. If you could use that knowledge to solve a problem in your community, what problem would you solve? Describe the problem. Also, how would you use math and science to solve the problem?
So I want to just do the same as what we did before, just an analysis. And again, there's no rule, rhyme, or reason. You can choose either one. Does anyone want to guess which one I like more? Anybody? Anybody who can guess? You get a point. That's all I can offer you guys. I can't offer you anything besides a point. What this point means, I have no idea. Who can guess which one I happen to like more? Anybody? 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 Type. So I like 2 because you got it. Okay. You got it. I like to. I'll tell you why, because it's personal. Suppose you wake up one morning, you suddenly know everything there is to know about math or science. So right away, you're a genius. Totally my style. If you could use that knowledge to solve a problem in your community, what problem would you solve? Describe the problem. So basically, this is again, I'm very skilled in the college application essay universe. And this is a very common college application essay prompt. So it says here, suppose you wake up one morning, you know everything there is to know. I've actually seen this, which is so funny, in the U Chicago college application. I can actually tell you, I've seen this in a couple of college essay supplements. So there's a main college essay, which is usually background identity, tell me about yourself, 650 words. That's like the main college essay. And then there's every college has, the top tier colleges have supplemental essays. I've literally seen.
You're cutting off again.
Back. I am back, right? Am I back?
Yeah, you're
Please
back
say
now.
yes.
You're
Say
good.
yes. You hear me?
Yes.
Phew. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'll stop speaking soon. But anyway, so here's the question. So this one I like. If you can use that knowledge to solve a problem, what problem would you solve? I like it because it has the word you like 70 times, which is great. How would you use math and science to solve this world problem? How would you solve world hunger, homelessness? Would you do genetically modified foods? Would you do enriched rice? Would you, I mean, there's so many great ways where you can pose an answer here. How would you make the world a better place? Like, what could be better? I'm going to tell you something really cool. Ready? You're going to love this. I actually have some.
No, you're gone. Not on yet.
Sorry. I have very good news. Ready? This is extremely good news. And I'm planning to stay. Yes, am I here? Please say yes. Please say you hear me. Yes. I have very good news, everyone. Ready? 151 participants. Listen to this. You will actually reuse these essays. So save these essays. Guess when you're going to reuse these essays. Guess. In 12th grade, when you apply to college, you will actually reuse these essays. Isn't that amazing? So you're getting one positive thing out of the high school application process. You are getting a base for the college application. So this you will reuse again. So I really like to. Suppose you wake up one morning, you know everything. How will you solve a world problem? Sasha, if you're able to, can you go over one and what you would recommend in terms of how students can structure their response to the first one?
Yeah, no. Well, okay, so for the first one, so you're stranded
Can
on
you
an
scroll
island.
up? Yeah.
Okay. Also, just to say, a lot of this like also pops up in medical school applications. So again, you're starting early, starting to practice. So for the one that we're talking about, you're stranded on an island and you may take one modern invention with you. No cell phones. Why do you think they put no cell phones? So they probably put no cell phones because they think that cell phones might like be like multi-use, right? So they have like different uses, and that's like the one thing that people will like automatically go to. So I think in this prompt they want you to be creative. So they want you to choose an item that, just won't be water, right? It's not going to be a jug that turn salt water into fresh water. It has to be something a little more creative. And it also has to be something that you're able to expand on. So when you're picking an item for this, you have to keep that in mind. What can I expand on? And what can I talk like intelligently about? So that's like for number one, like what you should do. But I know Frances said that she really liked number two. I also do, just because they do say, if you could use that knowledge to solve a problem in your community, what problem would you solve? And by talking about community problems, you're able to show like your own perspectives and your own values and your own commitment to your community. So this could be like very much like focused on your community. So for example, like if you see that like in the subway there's a specific problem with like even a turnstile, or people are often getting pushed on the subway, you have to think deeply about how you would approach that and think about specific things that can be solved within your like be used to solve this problem, and creative like ways using math and science to solve it. So you'd be able to show your creativity and your knowledge of like math and science that you've learned from class. And I'm sure like many of you are like starting to take Regents classes most likely. And if you're taking living environment, you can talk about like, gene editing methods. You can talk about like evolution, some of the climate change, and you can be really creative. And there's a lot of material that you can work with. Even for math, you can talk about using formulas, and really thinking about how you can apply what you've learned to this prompt. So in this prompt, you would be doing two really good things, and showing two really good things to admissions. The first thing would be, do I care about my community? What is my investment in the community? Do I notice the problems that are going on in my community? And am I actively thinking of ways to solve them? And then the second thing is, okay, can I integrate the math and science information that I've learned in the classroom to solve problems? Am I able to like make applications happen? So yeah, that's like my take on these two prompts.
So I also want to add, if you go back up to one, I just want to give you like a little fair warning of what not to do. And again, just remember, this is all advice. Do as you wish. All right, but take the advice. You are stranded on an island. You can take a modern invention with you. If you guys want to type in modern inventions, you can do it. Just because some people are typing in. Explain why you chose the item. Can you just highlight that? This essay is again about you getting into a very selective high school. So don't focus about the item. Like I always tell the kids, like, don't write your college essays about grandma. Grandma's not the one going to college. You're the one going to this high school. You're the one going to this school. Do not what I'll tell you what you should not do. Do not write some Wikipedia article about an item and then write nothing about yourself. Why did you, future Townsend Harris High School students, decide that this is the only item that you're going to take with you? Why did you, future International Baccalaureate diploma student, decide to take this item? And then it tells you, describe some of the issues you may encounter to keep the item functional. This is a very sophisticated essay. What are you going to need? How are you going to charge the item, keep it going? Is it electric? This is a very tough essay prompt, and you need to make sure you give it the love and care and attention that it deserves. Make sure that you are not writing about the item so much that you don't write about your choice. It's really you choose. Just highlight the word you choose.
Yeah.
That's a really big deal. Why did you choose this? You're stranded. You're stuck in an island. You chose an item, one modern invention. I have seen this essay before. I've seen all these essays before. I've seen way too many essays in my lifetime. Okay, ready? I've actually seen this before. This was one of the Hunter College High School essay prompts. And we actually had one of the students who was admitted. She said she would take a pen, and I just want you to know that anyway, she wrote all about. But I just want I've seen this essay prompt before. You are stranded on an island. Why are you taking this one modern invention with you? Explain why you chose it. And then it says, describe, and then can you highlight issues you may encounter? So this is very important. You have to focus on the you parts of this. So this is again, first person. Don't waste your 500 words talking about the item, but not talking about why you made this choice to choose the item. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Please say yes. Sasha, do you get it? Yes, you get it. Can you please elaborate on what I'm saying, just because I'm speaking really fast and high pitched and not everyone likes that style. Go.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense just because anyone can describe an item, right? I can say, oh, I'm going to make a robot that makes food, and just go like into the intricate details of what this robot looks like, what the food is going to provide for me. And I could say that, but you have to be really creative and like intentional when answering this prompt. So yes, you can choose an item, think about it deeply, and then also try to like focus more on your choices. because they're just looking for like how you're thinking. What is your train of thought? So again, just like focus on your choices, as Francis said, and like think about the problems you might encounter. So they want to see that you're thinking out of the box. So are you thinking about the environment that you're in on this island? Are you thinking about like the different organisms that you might encounter? Um, the place that you will live in, like how that will, or like even your mental state at the time. Like just really think about, you know, what it would be like to be on an island and elaborate.
So let's keep going. So everyone, so I just want to just recap. So number one will be the humanities essay up to 500 words. Everyone gets it? Say yes, please, or type yes. Type yes is fine. Say yes, Sasha, you get it?
I get it.
Two
Yeah.
is STEM. You have two options. Pick one up to 500 words. Got it? All right. So what's the goal? 499 is the goal. Okay. Did the DOE say that? No, Francis Kweller said that. All right, go ahead. Next, let's keep going.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So over here, we're going to talk about the videos, right? So do you want me to just read out loud quickly?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so after completing the two assessment essays, you have to submit a video. So for BARD early high school, early college, please submit a 2-minute maximum time video that includes all the following. First, an introduction to you. Second, an answer to both of the questions below. So over here, they're saying both, and they're not just saying one. So they talk about their school mission. So they say that our school mission is premised on the belief that many students from all cultures and backgrounds are ready and eager to begin taking college-level courses in high school. First, what makes you want to attend an early college? And two, what about being a BARD student specifically most excites you?
And then if you okay, so let's read through all of them and then we'll just recap. Okay, let's keep going down. Next one.
Okay. So for this one, we're just going to talk about the Townsend Harris High School video requirement. So they also want you to submit a 2-minute maximum time video that includes an introduction to you and an answer to the questions below. So Townsend Harris loves to talk about the feedback oath, and they say, we believe that every student has a special and unique artistic, intellectual, and personal talent, interest, ability, and or gift that can enrich our school community. Our feedback oath states that we promise to leave our city greater than we found it. So they want you to identify 2 talents, interests, abilities, or gifts you possess that would enrich your school community and how you would leave it greater than you found it. So that's for Townsend Harris. And then for Baccalaureate, they also want a 2-minute maximum time video, also including an introduction to you and an answer to the questions below. So the first prompt is, as the first public all IB school in New York City, we are one community made up of diverse cultures. We expect all students who successfully complete our course of study to be prepared for the International Baccalaureate Diploma. 2. What makes you want to attend an IB school? Choose 2 elements of the IB learning profile, open external link that they provide, and describe how you would like to develop in those areas. And then they list out the type of learners that they want, or like the type of learners they want to develop. So first, there are the people who inquire, those that are knowledgeable, the thinkers, the communicators, the principled, open-minded, caring, risk takers, balanced, and reflective. So I think that's it for the videos.
So now we can go up. Okay, let's go here really fast. Okay, everyone, ready? Up, 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 up. Where are we?
BARD.
Okay, everyone ready? BARD. Wait, hold on. Okay. So actually on the Kweller Prep website, we have some really good high school tour videos and you can listen to them and watch them. I'll give you a synopsis so that you know what BARD high school early college will offer. So please submit a 2-minute maximum time video that includes all for you. You can do this, for example, a Zoom. You can do this with a cool background. Look at the backgrounds. All right. You can do this as a regular iPhone video recording. That could also work. You could, there are many different ways to record. And then obviously, I mean, the obvious stuff I'll tell you, make sure it's a quiet space, make sure you're focused, make sure you're loud, make sure you project, make sure you're bright lighting. and make sure that you're speaking very clearly into the camera. This is your opportunity to shine. This is the opportunity to present the best version of yourself. In your introduction, I'm giving you free advice. Don't waste space. Do not focus on how you are 12 years old, 13-year-olds. Do not focus on the name of your school. Don't focus slow speech time on things that are very obvious and unnecessary. What are the most important things that the school should know about you? So what can you tell them about you that shines? What do you do that's cool? Piano, chess. What do you like to study? What books do you read? Anything that an introduction about you. Let me rephrase this. An introduction about you to get into Townsend Harris High School, to get into Bard High School Early College. So this is what they're asking. Are you going to be the type of student who's going to be 16 years old and, potentially have an associate, the next step, finish one more time. Here's what they're really asking. Are you going to be the one who goes to Bard High School Early College, 9th and 10th grade, takes 4 years of high school classes in 2 years, finishes in 2 years, then goes to Bard Early College, has 2 years of college level classes when you're 17 and barely 18 years old? Are you going to be that kid? And when you give your introduction, make sure that you give your introduction, making it very clear that you're that kid, okay? So please keep that in mind. Free advice, take it. An answer to both of the questions below, okay? Our school mission, I kind of want to go back to A for a minute. When you talk about the introduction to you, also I would not recommend, not telling you the right answers. I'm just telling you what advice we give for general college interviews, and this applies to the high school interview. Is that fair? Right, Sasha? Yes? Yes.
Yeah, it is fair.
Don't say my favorite subject is math. I really enjoy algorithms and coding, and I've dabbled with Python, and I don't know, just give me the cool stuff you've done. What cool stuff have you done? Tell me out of the box things that make you unique, that's going to make and what's your pitch? What's cool? Tell us fun stuff that we need to know about you. So remember, it's not you, it's you to get into Bard, okay? You future Bard students, all right? And they want to see grit. Are you someone who's going to be able to handle this type of environment? And that is within your introduction, okay? An answer to both of the questions below. Our school mission is premised on the belief that many students from all cultures and backgrounds are ready and eager to begin college level courses. So this is what we want to highlight, right? Are you going to be the one who's going to highlight college level courses in high school? Not everyone can handle that. Are you going to be the one who can? And that's what they want to know. So now they want to know what makes you want to attend this college. You have to research Bard. If you want to do easy Bard research, literally just go on the Kweller Prep website, high school tours, and you can actually watch the videos. And believe it or not, that's actually good enough, because you're going to learn quite a lot about the schools from those videos, which are amateur and I never thought would go so viral, but they did. Anyway, what makes you want to attend an early college? You need to be knowledgeable about the college. You need to know that you can get up to 60 college credits. You need to know that you should really research on the Bard website. What are the names of the classes that Bard offers? This is very important. How you can't just go to a school and not even know the name. You can't go blindly into the school. You need to go knowledgeable, and they're going to know within 2 minutes. When I do interviews with Kweller, with staff, my daughter's here in my very large Zoom. I'm in Zoom. See all those people? Say hi. Hello. Sasha, you get to meet the whole family while you're here. Sasha's in Spain. Can you believe it? Say good luck to everyone. Good luck. Good luck. So good. Okay, well, she's leaving now. Bye. Okay, ready? So what I was saying earlier, this is what you want to do. You need to make it very clear that you know the names of the classes, right? You can't say that you're oh, back to what I was saying about the interview. When I interview, Sasha's friends for employment, because Sasha's all the way in Spain, and that's sort of helpful now, but in general, I need humans in New York City, in Queens. So when I interview, if I'm interviewing and if the person I'm interviewing hasn't researched me, hasn't researched the company, they think we offer, I don't know, general tutoring or first grade, if they ask me a question that clearly shows me they haven't researched Kweller Prep, they're not getting the job. You need to research before you apply. So make sure that you're researching BARD. And it's not going to take you more than 10 minutes to go on the BARD website and see what classes they offer for 16 and 17-year-olds, because that's really what they want to see. Are you going to be a good, match for that? What about being a BARD student most excites you? There's so many ways to answer this. But again, it's very heavily connected to the types of courses and opportunities that they offer. Sasha, can you elaborate, please?
Yeah, no, for
Second.
sure.
They're all here, guys.
Aw,
They're all home.
okay.
All right. This is number 2. We've seen all 3 of 3. Hello. Say hello. Say good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, bye. Okay, Sasha, can you please elaborate on A and B? Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So, with BARD early college high school, they want to make sure that you don't just drop out of your college program, and they are making an investment in you. And they want to know that once you're in the college years, once you're completing 4 years of high school in 2 years, that you're going to give it all your best, because it is a lot of grit that it requires. There's a lot of grit that's required. There's a lot of hard work. So they want to make sure that you're ready for that challenge. So, in talking about you in the introduction, you should also frame it in terms of, what the school is looking for. Like, what types of traits do they want to see in their students? They want to see grit. They want to see determination. They want to see like a lot of things. And you really need to have, done your research, and get like a good sense of what the school, wants and what the typical BARD student looks like. So, for that, like that's what should go in the introduction. And then what makes you want to attend an early college? Think about the reasons. As Francis said, look at the courses. Is there something that maybe you are doing now, that you can possibly expand on and pursue when you're actually like later on, like taking college classes? How is the college environment going to prepare you for, when you actually apply to your 4-year college? Or how's it going to, nurture your development? So think about those things, when you write the second part, like, well, not write the second part, but say the second part for this like video. And also just be excited. Don't don't be like unexcited on camera about applying to BARD, because they could see it, and they'll see like in the way that you're using your body language, in the way that you're communicating, whether or not you really want to go to your school.
And I want to stress, you're going to do this again anyway, because you're applying to college in a few years. It's right around the corner. So remember this, you're going to do this again anyway, and practice makes perfect. And the more practice you get, the better. So just make sure. We do have some college interview videos also on the Kweller website. The Kweller website has everything. No, I'm kidding. But this is your opportunity. So you are going to do this again, and this is your opportunity to shine. Do not be humble. Do not be soft. Do not be quiet. Do not be a silent genius. Use this opportunity to shine. They are, even have the word excites. Why does it excite you? Okay. What is exciting about this school? So again, you really want to show that you've researched the school, that you know the school. Let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Townsend Harris High School. 2 minutes. Don't go over 2 minutes. Okay. I would even like right under. So again, introduction about you, so that they can decide if you're a good fit for Townsend Harris High School, which is on the Queens College campus, which is going to give you access to the CUNY college system when you're 16 years old. So they want to know an introduction to you to see if you are the right fit for that school. And answer to the question below. You can't even pronounce this oath, so I'll leave it to Sasha to do. But anyway, this is the oath. Leave the city greater than we found it. Okay, let's keep going down. What are your talents? What's good about you? Do you have a good, I don't know, talent? I don't want to give you like an example, and then you're going to be like, this is the example. It's not. Your child has talents, abilities, gifts. Your child is enrolled in extracurricular. Your child has a drawing pad at night. So your child has a talent. Identify what is it, and here's the question. Identify 2 talents, interests that you possess that would enrich our school community. How would you make the school better by you being there? This is such a great question when you're applying to like college. Like this is really, you're going to use this again. So the amazing part of this high school application now is that you're literally going to reuse these questions in a few years. So you might as well start thinking. I mean, the whole point of these types of high schools, right, is for college readiness and college readiness index. These questions are really going to shape you and force you into thinking. So identify 2 talents that would enrich our school community, how you would leave Townsend Harris High School greater than you found it. So you should know Townsend Harris High School has a great school paper, which Sasha was on. The school paper is known as the classic. Go take a look at some of the classic articles. I mean, would you write for the school? I'm giving you one example from many, 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 but again, we're almost at time. What would you do at the school, and what does the school have? What is it about this school that you like? So you have to research. You're going to have to do this anyway down the road. You'll have to research the colleges. Now you're researching the high schools. Sasha, do you want to add anything to this?
Yeah, so as you know, like I love Townsend Harris, and I think that they have a really strong community over there, and they want to make sure that the people who attend Townsend Harris will be involved in the community. And I know that there were so many students who were maybe involved with 3 clubs and on a track team, maybe, or some sort of sports team, because they really just love the community. So over here, they want to see how you would fit in, how you would use, maybe your musical abilities or maybe your athletic abilities even to enrich your school community and also, contribute to creative thought. And they make us recite the Ephebic Oath every single year at Founders Day. And it's very important. We go over it again and again in classes because they want us to leave the city greater than we found it. So they want to know that you're invested in whatever community that you're going to be a part of whether that's going to be your high school community, the place that you live in, maybe future communities that you will eventually be a part of. So they want you to just find a sense of home, and they want you to relay that over here in this video.
So politician Nili Rosig actually visited Kweller Prep. I was so impressed. I actually invited her, and she's a Townsend Harris High School graduate. She secured $250,000 in funding for the college classes at Townsend Harris High School. I'm like, I have to meet this lady. This is an impressive person, right? And I said to her in front of all the students in the class, what is your advice to the kids at Kweller Prep? She said, my advice to you is to leave New York City greater than you found it. So this is now with her. She's an adult. She's someone 20 years now out of 25 years now out of high school. This is someone who has held on to that commitment decades later. And that is something you want to identify. So remember that. Let's keep going down. And everyone, I'm sorry, I know it's at time, but we're going to go a little bit over. All right, ready? So Baccalaureate School for Global Education, BSGE, is a school that will offer an IB diploma. The IB is for baccalaureate is a very special diploma. You take a series of HL higher level courses to get this. It's very special, and it's regarded as one of the most difficult diplomas to get in the entire world. Baccalaureate is actually free, this particular school, but you should know private schools charge like $50,000 for an IB. Eunice offers an IB, that's a good 40 and change. So, I mean, this is a very expensive diploma. So remember, this is a big deal international school diploma. Here's the question, introduction about you. Will you fit into this school? Remember that. As the first public all IB school in New York City, we're one community, we're made up of diverse cultures. We expect all students who successfully complete our course to be prepared for an international baccalaureate diploma, AKA something really hard. Remember that. What makes you want to attend an IB school? So again, you must research this school. You must go in depth. If you want the short version, Kweller videos, high school tours, and choose 2 elements of the IB learner profile, and there's a link that describes how you would develop in those areas. Let's scroll down. These are the learners, these are the thinkers, okay? Let's just remember, you need to describe how you would develop the learner profile. And then we have a video about the learner profile. Please remember. Sasha, can you add anything here? Just, I'm going a little faster because we're at time, so I want to just close up.
Yeah. So something to note is that a lot of people, like, I don't know, in Fulbright even right now, like a lot of them did IBs and they completed IBs before when they were in high school because they knew that they wanted to work like internationally or do some kind of international work. And over here, when they're making a list of all these traits, a lot of these traits, apply to people who would work internationally. So when you're working with different communities globally, you have to be open-minded, you have to be caring, you have to, take risks. Like sometimes moving to another country will involve taking a risk. You have to be balanced to be okay when you're abroad. So I think that, over here again, they're looking for a specific candidate, and you have to really relay that and do your research about the IB schools before submitting the video.
So, and we're just going to scroll down really fast. Let's keep going. We're almost done, everyone. 5 more minutes. This is the IB learner profile. If you scroll down more, no, is that all you're seeing right now? Oh, okay. So, well, that's all I have for now. But this is what I want to say. Let's go to the very, very top. Okay, I just want to share with you, we've gone through what you need to do. I want to take a moment, everyone. I'm going to adjust the chat so that we can give a huge, gigantic thank you to Sasha for this moment. She's actually physically in Spain doing this, but I need a storyteller. And then, well, you were my first choice. So I called her at 4 in the morning and she picked up, and I want you to know that's respect. And that shows grit, and that shows tenacity, and that shows someone who really sincerely wants to help others and work with others. This is a big deal. So I want to really say, Sasha, you are a hero. Thank you for doing this in the middle of the night in Spain, and for going over the 4 screen school applications and the process. And we want to wish good luck to everyone. We are running a program at Kweller Prep, which we will send everyone about. It's a 1-day. Do we have that here as you scroll up? Is it up here? We're running a short program if you're interested. It's a 1-day where you just kind of one and done. And if you scroll up, you'll see more information. If you could just put it here. Okay.
Or is it this one?
You don't need help with this, but if you decide to do this, this is a great way to kind of force your child to write. And it's always nice to have someone nearby. I mean, I get scared when people are nearby. I'm like, I have to perform. So maybe this is, probably one of the better ways to go. So please keep that in mind. If you would like, we do have a brainstorming and drafting day, and that'll be December 4th, so that you can draft model responses, work on the video, and you'll have a buddy. And this is a great experience for 8th graders, especially because you will do this again when you are in 12th grade. So keep that in mind too. Everyone, we want to take a moment. And that day, if you have versions and drafts of your essays, you can bring it in that day. We're going to, ping pong ideas and go through it. I really want to take a moment because we're winding down. Let's give Sasha a huge thank you for doing this on a different continent, across the ocean, and in the middle of the night. So I really want to say that I value these relationships so much. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's give Sasha a huge thank you. Please type it in the chat. I'm also going to adjust the chat settings right now so that we can type thank you. Let me do that right now. Can I do that? 1 moment, everybody. Okay. I really just want to say thank you. I want to take a moment, and I want to.
Thank you. Francis, will this be available if anybody's missed it?
Thank you.
I got a
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a yes. This is a recorded meeting. I just want to remind you, we are giving you good advice. We're not telling you it must be A or B.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Francis, will this be available to share?
I don't know, tonight. It takes like an hour, 2 hours. We'll have it ready. Everyone, good luck.
When you're ready. I'm not looking for it tonight.
Tonight, tomorrow. I mean, it'll be high in the list, as we had a large turnout for this. Sasha, this
Fantastic.
wasn't.
If you don't mind, could you share on Facebook?
Where?
The Queens Parents United Facebook group.
I'm gonna wait because I'm in a conference.
Some YouTube, and I will gladly send the links.
Just like I've got a couple of very specific questions with Kweller Prep about Townsend Harris. I was trying to get answered by Townsend Harris in time for the application to be due, because I can't quite figure out where to rank it.
I want to tell you, these are really, and I'm putting my cute little dog on so we can enjoy the last few minutes. I want to, Sasha, if you can spotlight me, I want to, hold on, here we go. Sasha, I'm replacing spotlight. Hi, everybody. So if I just want to let you know, Townsend Harris is a school that you want to rank first. So really remember, if this is your target school, they don't want to be ranked third, fourth, fifth. I've never heard of anyone get into Townsend Harris who ranked it like 3 or below. I mean, Sasha, are you aware of this? Never, right? It's
No.
never happened.
I never heard of anyone who
By
ranked
the way,
it second.
I cannot give you 100% accurate data, so please don't hold me to it. Everything has to have a disclaimer. I cannot give you a guarantee. I'm just telling you there's no one I know at all. 20 years in this business, I've never heard of someone get in who ranked at 3 or, 4, 5, 6. Anyone. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, never. I've literally never. Sorry.
The deadlines for these are the same as all the other schools, right? I was just curious because your essay thing is on the 4th, which is after the deadline.
No, the deadline aren't the essays due on the 9th?
So it's a separate deadline for the essays than the ranking?
Wait, can you scroll down? Yeah, aren't the essays due? When are the essays due? Nope, I don't think we got
They're
this one
due on the
wrong.
9th. The high school application is due tomorrow.
Yeah, the high school applications, yes, but then, yeah, the essays are due on the 9th.
Okay, thank you.
I'm pretty sure that's online.
Yeah, the essays are due the 9th.
So everyone, if you have any follow-up questions, you're welcome to ask, but I really just want to take a minute. Sasha, thank you so much for this webinar. Thank you for all the cool things that you do. Thank you for
3 days in a row.
a stimulating webinar. That's impressive. Okay, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Guys.
you,
Say bye.
Sasha.
Where did you say
Thank
this
you.
would be made available? The recording?
We have a YouTube channel. We can share it with the families. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine. I just want to
Okay.
remind you on the recording, none of this information is guaranteed. It's just advice. We're giving you guidance and
It's great
advice.
advice.
That's it. Don't hold me to this, or Sasha, or anyone, or the dog, or the baby. No one. Hold no one to
Thank
this. We're
you.
just giving you guidance. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Okay, Sasha. So what time is it by you, Sasha?
It's 12:09 right now.
Oh, that's not bad. Oh,
Yeah.
please, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. 12,
Yeah.
it's nothing.
Yesterday it was
Okay.
3 o'clock, but
Did you ever think when you first came to Kweller Prep that you would be in a Zoom across a continent for Francis Kweller? Did you ever think this moment would happen?
I never imagined that this would happen. Yeah. I was
Who
just
would
in
have
high
ever
school
thought?
writing
Who would have
essays.
ever thought in a million years that you would be the person I choose for this webinar across a continent? You're an ocean away. Okay.
Hold on, I may try to type in and. There's
Okay, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. This is recorded and we will work on having this on the Kweller Prep website sooner than later. Okay. And that's it. We got it. Oops, let me see. Oops. Okay, Sasha, thank you. Rest.
Yeah, I
Relax.
will.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
thanks, Francis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everybody. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Say bye, Goldie. Bye. Bye.